Alright, so here we are doing a probability question. So we all remember that all the probability should add up to 1. So now so meaning that here there are 4 numbers that could possibly hit. So the probability of hitting 1 plus probability of hitting 2, probability of hitting 3 plus probability of hitting 4 should always add up to 1. So this is the high level of the probability. So now if we try to look at the table that is formed here, they're telling you that the probability of hitting 1 is 0.26, the probability of hitting 3 is 0.18. But at the same time, right underneath the table, it does say that the probability of landing on 2 and the probability of landing on 4 would be the same. So if I now assume that because they're the same, right? So if I assume that the probability of landing on 2 would be, say, x, the probability of landing on 4 would be x as well, right? So as I started off this question earlier, I did say that all the probabilities should add up to 1. So say I should be able to develop a formula saying that 0.26 plus x plus 0.18 plus x should equals to 1. So here, if I do a little bit of calculation, you should be able to then come up with 0.44 plus 2x equals to 1, right? In that case, now the whole point is for me to find the value of x. So let's switch the non-x terms to the right-hand side first. Here we would then get 0.56. And to further simplify it, doing simple division, you should be able to find that the value of x would now be 0.26. So here we can simply just write it's 0.28. So it was 0.28, 0.28 for this one. Then we are done to do the table. So now working on the second part of the question, which they are asking us to find out what is the number of times that the spinner will be land on 4, right? So they actually give us some hint. They told us that Raveena would have to spin certain number of times and then land on 3 is 45 times. So, but I don't really know Raveena how many times that she has actually spin, right? So again, I don't know that. So let the spinning time be y, for example. Yeah? So if it is y, then I should be able to put it at the bottom because that's the total spinning time. And I know that the number of times that it lands on 3 is actually 45. So I put it at the top. And the probability, which we know at the beginning, based on the initial table, is actually 0.18. So again, by doing simple calculation, we should be able to find the value of y. What would that be? Give you a little bit more time to think about it. So it's simply just inputting into the calculator 45 divided by 0.18 and you should be able to get 250. So in fact, Raveena have actually tried to spin 250 times to be able to land on 3 with 45 times. But ultimately, the question is asking, how many times would actually land on 4? They're not asking what is the total number of spin, but rather within the 250 spin, how many times it would land on 4, right? So now let's leverage on this information because you want to find the number of times that's landing on 4. So we would then use, because we know that the probability is 0.28 and the total number of spinning time is 250. So if I now try to find out the total, right? So we can assume that the total numbers of times that you spin on 4, say, it should be z. And that should actually give you 0.28 as the probability. So again, doing simple calculation, you should be able to find that z actually should equal to 70. So that is the final answer that we should be getting for this question too.